Do you enjoy traveling? Do you have any journey stories of any kind?
Particularly, no.
Not really.
No.
Where's the furthest you've travelled in your life?
New Zealand.
Well, that's a story.
Right, okay.
Why is that not a story?
So I don't really know. So I went to New Zealand for a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I went to New Zealand for a gap year when I was 18.
Wow. What inspired that?
So my brother was over there. So that's a good story actually. Yeah. You know what? Yeah.
I'd love if you could share this. I'd love to know more.
Yeah. Cool. So maybe we could do. I don't know if it's good to hear. But yeah. So you ready?
Yeah. Thanks for asking. I'm just gonna. There you go. Cool.
Cool, yeah, so I went to New Zealand for a gap year when I was 18.
Yeah.
My brother was already over there. He was travelling the world with his girlfriend,
Yeah.
who's now his wife. But we were in Glasgow, he couldn't get a job for ages. So he was a civil engineer, couldn't get a job anywhere. So he saved up enough money working 3 jobs. And then they paid for them both to go travel the world. And they stopped off in Christchurch just after the earthquakes had happened years ago, just after the first earthquake. And he managed to get a job straight away, got offered a job because of his civil engineer background. So he started doing that, and then he told me to go over there because the life was so good. But when he was travelling, his girlfriend bought him a book from W.H. Smith in the airport. It's called How to Get From Where You Are to Where You Want to Be by Jack Canfield. It changed his life. So before that, he hadn't read a book about success or anything. And this taught him that if he could save his money, if he could save his money in personal development and read a lot of books and everything, then he could himself become a self-made multimillionaire and retire at an early age. So this became his goal. So I remember he phoned me up one day and I was with my friends. We were all having a drink on a Friday night, and he phoned me up and he was like, I'm going to go and I'm going to become a millionaire. I'm going to retire at the age of 30. And I was like, put it on speaker and I said, you've not got a job, mate. Say that again. So we all had a laugh about him. And then he ended up saving up loads of money, 75% of his income. And he done that for over 2 years when he was over there and bought into property. Learned himself off YouTube and everything, how to do the properties up himself and then rent them out. So I went over there just to help him at the start, and then went and travelled for 6 months of it and helped him for 6 months. He then had 8 properties by the end of 6 years, sold them all over there, came back to Glasgow, or where we're from, and he now has 13 properties, just got one there. And if 30 years old, he retired. And I remember he reminded me of that conversation when he was 22. On his 30th birthday, and he says, I've retired now. I'm going to retire a month after he retired. And yeah, it came true. So it just gave me the belief that I could go and do it, and that changed my life as well. I went and read the book and read a lot of other self-development books. So now I'm doing this because in this you get your own business at the end of it, so you make your own commission only, so you're kind of selling yourself and everything. So that's why I'm doing this just now, to try and hopefully earn enough money to get into property with him soon. So that's my story.
Well, that's a
There you go,
hell
I don't know if that
story.
helped.
It's not usually. You're the first person I've been able to get to speak.
Alright, okay. I hope I wasn't too fast with my accent, mate.
No.
Is that
that's
okay,
wonderful. Can I ask you one more question?
Of course, mate, yeah.
Because the idea is really about, I'm supposed to be doing the bus. There's a free bus that goes around Wakefield.
Okay.
And so I thought rather than make it, what do you think about the bus service, which everyone's kind of cagey about.
Right.
It is about this idea of journey, because you're journeying on a bus, but with a bus and any kind of commuting, there's also the idea of waiting. So like the biggest sense of the term, what does the idea of waiting bring to your mind? Is there anything you've waited for?
Well, right now I'm constantly waiting, I feel. So right now I want to retire at the age of 29. So I've just turned 25 2 weeks ago. I want to beat my brother by a year. So right now I'm just waiting for my big moment. So I feel like I'm waiting because I'm constantly out here. I do 6 days a week. I've not had a Saturday off in 7 months. So I work 6 days a week, 12 hours a day minimum, doing this. If not, I'm in the office constantly training myself, but I know that one day it's going to pay off for myself. So right now I know that I might be doing a stepping stone, but I'm enjoying the journey, because you know what, I take a lot of abuse off people doing what I do, as you can imagine. I get a lot of negatives, but when you get there, it'll pay off, and I'll be the one that's laughing. And then after that I want to go travel the full world. I've got a lot of countries I want to visit, a lot of cities I want to visit. I know what properties I want to have in different cities. I'm half Singaporean, so definitely Singapore's on the list, just right by Marina Bay. So yeah, and that's my story, man.